Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to UFC versus everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Sean. And as I've said in the chat, as I've said on the post, again, this is a Manchester United fan channel, but the key word there is fans. This is your channel. This is your community built on your thoughts, your opinions. I'm just here to kind of share that and kind of provide a bit of a facilitator for the conversation, to get feedback, to bounce ideas off each other, and most importantly, to get perspective and context. So big up yourselves. Thank you, everybody, for helping the channel grow. We had a blast putting together that award show the other day. If you guys had a chance to check that out, seems like you guys really enjoyed it. We have had a ton of new subscribers in the last couple days, so like 100 new subscribers. So big up you guys. I really had a blast again putting that together. Big up Dylan for joining me for that and putting in the time and the research and making the drive over here to come be a part of that. Let me know what you guys thought of that video. Did you guys learn anything? Did you guys have any interesting thoughts, some interesting picks in there as well? So had a blast. Again, go check that video out if you haven't yet. We recap the Community Shield, talk some transfer news, and then, of course, go through our awards for the 2023-2024 season. A lot of good views in that one. So go check that out. Thank you, everybody. Danny B, just starting work, didn't listen to any news this morning. Well, you are about to listen to some news now, my friend, because we have all sorts of stuff kicking off today. But yeah, the award show was great. It was a lot of fun going back and watching all those goals, all those moments, all the highlights. I mean, you can't complain, you know, when you get to sit and do that for a couple hours throughout the week for research purposes, right? Just it's very important. I think that makes about 4 times now I've watched that FA Cup quarterfinal against Liverpool. Still watch the final like 6 or 7 times though. So again, I know it's long, the award show, but it was fun to do. It was a really fun show. Go check that out. I like to play the long videos if I'm chilling in the afternoon at the end of the day, rocking some FC24 or something, starting a new career mode or something. I like to just throw a long video on the phone and play it, turn the TV down all the way, and just a good way to kill a couple hours. So let's get stuck in. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new, everybody. Of course, the big news today, this morning, I woke up to the exciting news that Matthias de Ligt and Year Mazraoui have reportedly arrived at Carrington this morning, or this afternoon, really, UK time, for their medicals. That's coming from both Fabrizio Romano, it's coming from Sky Sports, it's coming from everybody today. They could be announced as United players today, this afternoon, my time, maybe this evening, UK time. It's also Matthias de Ligt's 25th birthday today as well. So happy birthday to Matthias de Ligt. What a great way to celebrate your birthday. Bonus, right? Together, they both cost less than one Jared Branthwaite and less than one Manuel Ugarte. So bit of shrewd business there. Again, if Matthias can stay fit with those knee injuries, that could be one of the best deals of the summer right now. So Danny B says great business. It is great business. I think it's like 60 mil for both of them initially. That is a great piece of business. Remember Juventus, I forget how much Juventus paid for de Ligt. I want to say it was up to like the high 60s or something. So good piece of business for us, especially if both can stay fit and we get a decent amount of name. I think we need a defender like de Ligt, someone who's a good physical presence in the box, but who also suits Ten Hag's system, playing out from the back, good recovery. Year Mazraoui, obviously a bit more advanced attacking-wise as a fullback, a lot of good progressive ball-moving numbers, really good tackle numbers as well, I think. And the fact that he's a bit versatile of defense really helps as well. So really happy with that. I do still think I would have preferred Ferdy if I had the choice between the two, but I'm not going to split hairs over that. I'm happy with the business. Simon Jones of the Daily Mail also reported that on top of the big developments today, that United's recruitment team are actually meeting today to discuss next targets, to discuss potential sales, future windows. So hopefully, again, that means we're getting the plan going for January. We're getting the plan going for the summer, which could be a really nice change of pace, right? How many years have we just seen that we kind of skip over January window, no value in the market. We've only, I think, since I've been around in the last decade or so, it's really, we signed Bruno in January, and then I think we signed Juan Mata in January under David Moyes. We did do those loans in Ten Hag's first season as an emergency loan, but normally we don't do a whole lot of January business, unlike some other clubs in the league. So if we could start planning, if we could start getting deals worked on and even kind of agreed upon ahead of the opening of the transfer windows, like we tend to wait until the window starts to just start the process. That would be a tremendous change of pace. So really big news today. I might pop on later on if Ligt and Mazraoui are officially announced. Who knows? They could be announced while we're live. If that happens and you guys are paying attention, let me know. On some other big news, it's a big news day. Adidas announced their third kits for a number of clubs that they supply. So like their legacy or their heritage clubs, I think Juventus, Arsenal, Bayern, Real Madrid, and United. There are several photos in this ad campaign featuring former players like Zinedine Zidane, Del Piero, Schweinsteiger, Patrick Vieira. And then we got Rio Ferdinand, the man himself, sporting the long sleeve version of our third kit. And that was their announcement. United officially announced the third kit as well. They look awesome. I'm a little annoyed that now I'm going to have to buy 2 kits this year because the away kit and the third kit are fire. And I don't even know if when I go in the fall, if I'm going to even bring clothes. I might just buy 2 kits and just wear those the whole time because Adidas killed it this year with that. I'm still not super keen on the home shirt. And that's not that I think it's bad. It's not my personal style. Kind of like the 16-17 home shirt. It wasn't one of my favorites, but it is what it is. And so United really trying to make me go broke this year, spending money on kits. So new kit launch, new signings all on the same day. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think we'll probably see, if they're announced today, we'll probably see Ligt and Mazraoui sporting the new kit. So any guesses to what their numbers could be? I know there's a couple that they could be. I think 4 is available for Ligt because I think that was Amrabat's number, but he's no longer part of the club, obviously, unless you want to look at the team on the website. Danny B says, I heard in another channel through Swedish Rumble yesterday that we have 250 spent on FFP this year and next, not including any outgoing sales in the future. Yeah, I reposted Swedish Rumble's thread yesterday, and he's a really good source for all things financial relating to United and other football clubs. Really smart account. Those are the kind of things you need to check when it comes to FFP. Don't listen to people even like me. Don't listen to other social media users. Look at guys like Kieran Maguire, Swedish Rumble, who know what they're talking about, and go from there, okay? Because they're going to have it. So, yeah, we are, the FFP stuff is what it is, but good account, good thread that he posted yesterday. KD, good morning, my friend. Good to be back. Oh, you had to travel. Where are you at, man? Where are you traveling to? Let me know. Before we do get into the rest of the transfer news, so obviously with the big news, Ligt and Mazraoui reportedly at Carrington for their medicals, new kit launch. Let's take a moment to remind ourselves of football heritage and celebrate Alejandro Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo both being nominated for the PFA's Young Player of the Year award. 6 nominees. United have 2 of them. The other nominees are Elise, Palmer, João Pedro, and Saka. This is what we do at United, right? We develop young talent no matter the manager, no matter the season. We have young players coming through, getting into the first team and just performing and delivering. And yes, we do have some that aren't quite United level. Doesn't mean they're bad, but we do have these guys like Mainoo and Garnacho coming through. We've got Amas looking bright, Collier looking bright. We signed Obi Martin and stuff. Like, this is what we do at United. We did that long video the other day on Jimmy Murphy celebrating what would have been his birthday. And he's really kind of the guy who laid the cornerstone for that. And we just embrace it. We celebrate it. And this is another example. But yeah, big up, Katie. Welcome back to the channel. But we were wondering where you went, my friend, but it's glad to have you back. Oh, no, you went to Kenya, had a funeral. My condolences, my friend. Thoughts and prayers with you and your family. Sorry about that. But we are glad to have you back, bud. So yeah, big up the youngsters. Big up Mainoo and Garnacho for that nominee. Let's move on to a little bit of more transfer news because we had the big news, obviously, but it doesn't mean we're stopping. This is what I like with Ineos. We've got stuff, but we're not going to rest on that. We took a little bit of a break, it seems, in July. I think it had more to do with preseason than anything, but let's move it on here. So we do have some potential center back news. So you remember that United were among the clubs that were linked with free agent Mario Hermoso, right? Former Atletico Madrid became a free agent, Spanish international. I like Hermoso a lot, left-sided. Played in the back three the last few seasons. Really good at getting up the pitch. Really good at defending. Seems like an ideal Ten Hag center back target, and he probably would be here for depth and things. So it was reported yesterday by Maximo de la Cruz Ramirez. He's been popping up recently in transfer news. He reported yesterday that our proposal, United's proposal, was one that Hermoso really liked most out of all the proposals. But we saw some updates overnight, as we've seen over the last week or so, that he has claimed that now we have rejected the chance to sign Hermoso. Maybe this has something to do with the Ligt. Maybe Euro is looking a little more like recovery-wise behind the scenes. I don't know. But reports claim that we have rejected that chance. He does have an offer reportedly still from the Saudi League. I think it was like Al Shabab, I think was the club. So we'll keep an eye on this one. Nothing's certain yet, but we will see. KD says, is anyone else still buzzing about getting De Ligt over the line? I'm excited. I've never said that he's a bad player. I've always really liked De Ligt, especially from Ajax. Like I said, I've watched Ajax for a while. I just want to make sure those knee injuries are not going to be an issue. So let's hope and pray that no injuries. Danny B wants 2 mids in by next week, maybe 30, but Danny wants everybody. It's going to be a process. I think we still have the wages to worry about as well, but I know that Swedish Rumble was chatting a little bit. Getting some of this is why we've been pushing to get some of these players off the wages. Based on just wages alone, we've cleared a lot of expenditure from our books as well. And that's the key for players like Martial, Varane leaving. That's why we're maybe trying to move on Casemiro. That was a big help. So, Sanita Pafiri, how are you? Good afternoon from Zambia. Wow, welcome to the channel. Welcome. Always lovely to see new faces. Welcome to the channel, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button while you're here. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I love seeing the new faces. On defenders, so we've lost Varane, we've lost Kembwala. Yoro looks like he's going to be out for a couple months, right? Lindelof looks like he's set to leave. And that leaves us with, right now, Licha, Maguire, Evans. That's who we have for sure right now, right? Who's fit. And then if everything goes well today, De Ligt. So 4 defenders, if all goes smoothly for the next, several months. Hermoso on a free would make me feel a lot better depth-wise. I think a lot of people would probably play Hermoso over Johnny Evans. There's almost 10 years between the two. And I think that Evans, his age is starting to show a little bit. It's not that he's bad. Again, like Maguire, it's not that he's bad or anything. It's just that he suits a certain style system. But Evans is delivered when he's been called upon. So, well, like I said, we'll keep an eye on Hermoso. I think he could do wonders for us depth-wise, but given where we are right now contextually. But we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think of Hermoso. You guys watch a lot of La Liga. Do you guys think he would be a good free option? I think between the free options out there right now, I mean, Rabiot, Hermoso, which one do we need more? Which one would you take? We've got some news reports, kind of rumors saying that maybe a couple United players could be on their way out the door as early as maybe the end of this week. So this is coming from Sam C with the United Stand. He's actually really got good connections, really good sources. He reports that Hannibal Mejbri, Facundo Pellistri, and Lindelof could be set to leave this week. So Hannibal is reportedly retracting interest from teams in France. Facundo Pellistri does have some concrete interest coming from Bologna as well, where we just got Xerxes. So maybe some good relations there. And then Lindelof, reportedly, his exit is just a matter of time. There's got interest in Lindelof from several clubs. We talked about that the other day, the Saudi League, Italy, and then obviously Fenerbahce. So could see a couple of exits this week. I think Pellistri obviously was signing under Ole. He's been on loan a little bit. I've liked what I've seen from Pellistri in terms of what his go-to is to get up, get the ball into the box for someone else. I like that. I just haven't seen enough of it. Hannibal, I don't think Hannibal's kind of falling into the Tahith Chong kind of slot for me, where like there's flashes, but I just don't think the quality is there. It is what it is. And obviously Lindelof, just looks, he's a Mourinho player, and that's a couple managers ago. I think the Premier League is just not his level. So it is what it is. We wish them all the best if they go, but it could be a couple outgoings, which could help. We don't want to turn into a Chelsea where we've got almost 50 first-team players in the squad. Nick, good morning, Nick. Welcome, man. How are you doing today? Good to see you again. One player who might not be leaving now could be Jadon Sancho. So remember, he was heavily rumored to be of interest to PSG. The two clubs have been discussing that option in recent weeks. It does look like PSG have decided on an alternative note, though, in Desiree Doué. Remember, United were linked with Doué. It looked like Bayern were pretty much ready to sign Doué, but Florian Plettenberg, so Plettigol, reported last night that Doué has decided to join PSG over Bayern Munich. He did not want to join the project under Vincent Company at Bayern Munich. Plettigol, actually, he added that several French outlets have also confirmed that transfer. Bayern needs to sell players, and I think that one of those things you sometimes see with a club, even like in United's case, when you have to sell to buy and there's that delay, sometimes the players can get a little, anxious, a little impatient, and, maybe that had something to do with it. Could this also now put PSG, could they get pressure to have to sell Ugarte for a lower price? I don't know, but remember, we'll see what happens with Sancho. Does he end up sticking around? Does he go to Bayern instead of Desiree Doué? I don't know. I think Bayern could be a good fit for Sancho as well. Santa Fury says, just getting me talking about Hermoso. Irfane, welcome to the channel. Irfane, Sancho, the big flop. Sancho has not delivered for sure. When he's had some moments. I mean, we'll always laugh about the goal we scored against Liverpool. People don't clock that. I was just watching a video last night. Ten Hag, his first season, he beat Liverpool, he beat Arsenal, he beat City. Ten Hag was actually doing things his first season, and Sancho, was putting James Milner on his ass, had Virgil van Dijk out here turning into a meme that first season. Sancho's had some moments. I don't know if it's just not the right fit manager-wise, if the league is too much. I don't know for sure. And maybe it's just a mental thing. Maybe it was that, Anthony, where he was found out pretty early. It didn't start off strong, and that kind of killed his, mental momentum, if you will. But we'll see what happens. Danny B says, Doué going to be a baller, Ballon d'Or quality. I mean, I will profess, I don't watch a ton of the French league. I do know Doué is highly rated. I've looked at some of the matches that he's played, the longer highlights. I've looked at his numbers. He's highly rated. So, I mean, I like that he's versatile as well. So he would have been one that I would have loved to maybe bring in if we could have moved on Anthony and Sancho. But we'll see. PSG obviously wanted an attacker. They were looking at Sancho as well. So we'll see what happens, guys. But again, maybe this could put pressure on PSG to lower that asking price for Ugarte as they keep buying more players. Maybe not. We'll see. We know Ugarte is a priority for us. We know we have other options lined up ready to go if we need to. So right now it could be a question of who blinks first. Couple more weeks left of the transfer window. I would have preferred to have a midfielder in. As Danny says, we really need to. I think we really need to. I have to temper what I think we need versus what I think is financially realistic with the transfer window. And so we'll see what happens. I think a lot of that does have to do with the fact that Ineos don't want a ton of high-paid players. So I think if we would have gotten rid of Casemiro, if we could sell McTominay, if we sold McTominay and got rid of Casemiro one window, we would probably bring in two midfielders. Right now, as it stands, it looks like maybe just McTominay could go as the likelier of the two. But who knows? Anything can happen. So, yep. And as Danny says, plenty of options out there. Irfane says, I need Man United to win the EPL. Yeah, I would love to sit here and say 21 is coming. I don't know. I think we will get top four, and I think we could. I think that, and we'll talk a little bit about this more later on in towards the end of the transfer window, but I do think that I would like to see us make a really strong push in the Europa League. I'd like us to at least get to the semis of the Europa League. We do need to get trophies. I do require trophies. So whatever that looks like, we need a better finish than we did last year and silverware. That's my minimum for this year. We could also be seeing a little bit more of one youngster this season in Ethan Wheatley. So obviously he came on as a sub a couple matches late last season. He's played a little bit preseason. Still looks a little raw in terms of his finishing, but with Højlund missing for the next month or so, it was claimed this morning by journalist Michael Plant that Ten Hag wants to keep Ethan Wheatley at least until January while Højlund recovers, right? I think it does sound like Obi Martin, the former Arsenal Academy player, was 16, 17. We just brought him in recently. It sounds like he's going to be more part of the reserves, the academy, for a little bit. And Wheatley's probably going to be pushed to that third choice striker role. there's a chance he could be sent out on loan in January to get minutes if Hoyland's back and Xerxes and Hoyland are kind of splitting those minutes. It's best for Wheatley to kind of go and develop and get minutes, right? That's what you want. But Michael Plant, listening to Led Zeppelin. Michael Plant also said that several youngsters are expected to leave on short-term loan deals in the final weeks of the transfer window. So who could that be? I don't think I would want to get rid of Amos on loan. Collier, I don't think so. Who else? Ennis, maybe. Who could be going out? Oyedele. I always get his name messed up when I try to say it. Could he be sent out on loan? I think that it could be good. Maybe send him to Plymouth. Go send him to hang out with Rooney for a little bit. Who knows? I'm just looking at the chat here. Sani says, guys, let us give Jadon Sancho a chance. The guy is good. The problem is they didn't have clear communication with the coach. You know how players they are. Jadon Sancho has had a lot of problems with several clubs he's been at, whether it's been Dortmund, he had issues with England, he had issues with City when he was there as a youngster. I think that Jadon Sancho necessarily doesn't like it when he's not like the star, when he's not like that Ronaldo level where he thinks he's earned it. But I think he's just, when he's messing up, maybe he doesn't like to take the criticism. I don't know, but if I'm a little frustrated that, you know, it's cool that he and Ten Hag have talked things out, but Sancho also owes a little something to the fans for the fact that, you know, he just chose not to be here for half a season. He chose to go call Dortmund his home. He chose to go play for them. He chose to celebrate them. Like, you owe the fans a little something, the United fans, after coming back and after all that, in my opinion anyway. But let me know your thoughts on Sancho. Danny says, I agree Wheatley should be kept. Yeah, I think I like what Wheatley, like what I've seen from him so far. He's like more of a modern striker in the sense that he wants to press. It's kind of like watching Weghorst. Remember, he's pressing, he's closing players down, which is what Ten Hag likes. His finishing is letting down a little bit. He obviously had that penalty miss in preseason. He's missed. I think I saw him miss another sitter as well, and that's fine. He's young. It's going to happen, but we'll get him up there. Irfane coming from Mauritius in Africa. Wow, now, man, that's awesome. I got a lot of African subscribers. I appreciate that. Big up, guys. Irfane, I don't like Liverpool. I like Liverpool to lose a lot of games. And we don't like Liverpool around here. I've got my bottle of Scouse Tears energy drink around here somewhere. I moved a lot of things around to make room the other day for that award show because I had to bring a big table up here. So I don't remember where I put my bottle after I moved everything back. But it's around here someplace. You guys know all about the Scouse Tears energy drink. Oyedele should stay. Loan last year didn't benefit him. He barely played, says Danny. Yeah, and that's another part with loans too. It's a coin toss. Sometimes it works out really well. Sometimes it doesn't. You know, James Garner sticks to mind. He was looking really, really promising on loan, but then was at Watford. They got in a new manager, and then he just wasn't in the new manager's plans, and he just barely played. But I really like James Garner. It's too bad it didn't work out. Irfan, and he player like Rafael Leao and Kvaratskhelia to Man United. Sancho was a big flop. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Rashford is the one who's really got to prove himself this season. But we'll talk a little bit about that in another video as well. Maxi Oyedele, CBM is very good. Yeah, I think he looked. I haven't seen a lot of Oyedele. I watched him in preseason. He just does the simple things well, which I like. Gets the ball, gives it back, moves, keeps things ticking. I really appreciate that in that holding midfield role. If you can do the simple things well, if you look calm and you're composed in that kind of delicate area of the pitch, I think that's just worth its weight in gold. But that's just me. Let me know your thoughts. We got some funny little comments from Sir Jim recently. He was made some comments commenting on their roof leaks. So I've talked about the roof leaks. The roof leaks are obviously kind of academic part of United now. But he said Erik ten Hag is a good guy and had been doing his best, but doing too much. He was trying to sort out the squad and fix leaks in the roof at the same time. It's so interesting to me with some of the bold comments that Sir Jim has made publicly, whether he's, criticizing the overall United environment over the last decade, talking about Ten Hag and saying, no manager's really done well here. And it's more about the environment that they've been in, which I thought was a very bold statement. Now he's openly commenting on the roof leaks, which many people have been criticizing for a while. Even David Gill, when he did an interview with Rio on his 5 channel a couple months ago, said the roof's been leaking for years. I got leaked on when I was there for Crystal Palace. We saw that huge waterfall. I forget what match that was. It was I think it was back in May. Manchester had like more rain in that day than they had like all summer combined, and it was just pouring down. I was really concerned watching that it was going to collapse because water weighs a lot. That many gallons of water, that's a lot of weight to go on there. And we'll see what happens. You know, they redid the players tunnel. I'd like to see them redo the roof, but I think at this point they're kind of minimizing the extra expenses on the old stadium and probably saving some of that for when they downsize it and when they rebuild the new stadium. So Danny B says, if you combine Oyedele and Collier attributes into one, we would have some player. Oh man, don't get me started. Right, that would be incredible. That could be a fun video. Let's take two players and combine them into one, and who would be the great pick, right? If you could combine like Frankie de Jong and like Casemiro, for instance, prime Casemiro, that would be like that's like, why even bother having to start? You just play whoever you want to. Irfan, Rashford is a watch. I need Ahmad and Garnacho to start. Yeah, we spoke about that the other day on the Player Awards show. If you haven't yet, go and watch that. Go ahead and do so. I know it's a longer video, but it's a really fun video. Based on what we've seen, not only from the preseason and the Community Shield and like the FA Cup final, but also based on what we saw from Rashford last year, I think for Fulham, my starters would be Ahmad and Garnacho and Rashford on the bench. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see what that starting 11 looks like to kick off the season on Friday. Sandy says, bro, is it okay if you can remove your cap? You want to see your face clearly? I'm going to wear the hat because it's an early day. My hair is all crazy. I'm going to rock the hat today. But Irfan, I am ready to watch Man United versus Fulham Friday. I need a big one. I would like to we'll do the score predictions and the match preview on Thursday after we get the pre-match presser from Ten Hag. So come back for that for sure. Did you guys see this report from Matt Hughes about Everton? He reported last night, breaking, Everton will begin the season with the threat of yet another points reduction as the Premier League alleges that the club breached its PSR rules by an extra £6.5 million for last season. They probably wish they had accepted our Branthwaite offer bid now, didn't they? They haggled, they dug their heels in. We came back with a couple offers. They didn't. Now they're facing another production. That's all they had to do is accept the bid earlier in the summer, and it would have been fine. It would have gone on last year's accounts, no problem. But they didn't want to. It is what it is. They sold Fofana too late. I also did see too that Pedro Neto is now Chelsea's 35th permanent signing in just 2 years under Todd Bowley. Can you believe that? 35th. They've signed 3 starting 11s worth of players under Todd Bowley in just 2 years. They're going to be done. They're going to be worse off than Barcelona in another couple years. Like, clip that up. Watch this space. That's going to happen. Sorry, Chelsea. KD found interesting stats on De Ligt, debunking accepted storylines on him. He missed exactly the same number of games from injury last 3 years as Maguire did, and he's not considered injury prone. You have to also look with stuff like that is some of those, they don't include the summer. So it's not just about how many games necessarily you miss. If you get a big injury like in May, yeah, you're not going to miss as many games. But if you're injured throughout the whole summer, you know, with a serious injury, kind of like Licha was, that's a big deal. So I always look at the days missed because the days will tell you more about the injury itself than the matches missed. Because again, it's about when the injury falls in the season. Had Licha gotten that injury in like November instead of like later on in the year, March, April, he would have missed a lot more games technically. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying it just depends. Plus, it's the fact with De Ligt's injury, it's just 3 ligament injuries on both knees in a short period of time. That's worrisome, that to me. So we'll see how it goes. Man United to 5-0 was for a long time. I don't know what that means, my friend. Let me know. Sandy, guys, I'm worried with Mateo that the guy's king of injuries. You mean De Ligt? We'll see. We'll see what happens with De Ligt's injuries. Irfan, does Man United have a new target and bid today? I think we're going to see potentially De Ligt and Mazraoui announced later on today. Hopefully, I would think it would be great. And we got the new kid as well. I think we'll probably see them in the new kid if they're announced today. KD, he was also never benched by Dyer. They played together 14 out of the 15 games Dyer played. Some points to debunk this haters. Yeah, a lot of haters. I think it's telling that Bayern signed 2 defenders when they had De Ligt as well. And obviously they want Jonathan Tah. I think that the writing's kind of on the wall at that point. When the club changes managers, this is the most normal thing. Everybody's kind of at risk when a new manager comes in. And so it just is what it is. It's nothing personal. It doesn't mean you're bad or anything. It just means the manager's system is different. And Bayern have gone through a couple managers since the Ligt joined. You know, they had Nagelsmann, they had Tuchel. And now Vincent Company. But we'll see what happens. You know, you guys really want me to take my hat off? No, we're good, girl. Cool. Bernardo Silva had some comments yesterday. So remember, we commented during the award show. You guys were recapping the Community Shield. If you saw the Community Shield, Bernardo Silva's little cheap shot on Garnacho. Garnacho's playing a pass. Silva comes steaming in, not trying to play the ball. Only has eyes for Garnacho. Literally, is more than a second after Garnacho releases that pass and just comes in with his elbow. And he had some comments. He said, "Well, I thought it was a foul for us, and that he doesn't need to touch the ball," talking about Garnacho. "So if he touches the ball, I'm allowed to do something like that. I know that I will get a yellow card, but the rules are the rules. You're not allowed to do something like that if it's getting a yellow card. That means it's against the laws of the game, man. Plus, it was a complete piece of shit move, man. If that were a Premier League game, that would be a red card. Like, that was late. You had no intention of playing the ball, and you came in with your elbow. That's red. You're done. So don't let Bernardo Silva's little nice guy routine fool you. The guy's a piece of shit." He said, "I'm happy with my yellow card. If he's happy with his yellow card, that's fine as well." See, this is the problem. It's like players taking it upon themselves to referee the game. Basically, they get mad, they get frustrated, and it is what it is. Bernardo Silva's problem is Garnacho came on and was 10 times better than Silva was. So it is what it is. KD Company, yeah, I'll never get over this. Yeah, it's still strange to me. So that is the main news today for the roundup. I just want to, as always, check and see if anything else has developed while I've been live. So if you do have any comments or any thoughts or anything, get in the chat now. I'll leave it open for a few more minutes before I take off and let you guys do what you need to do. We've got the third goalkeeper kit out. That looks pretty fire too. It's kind of all black. It's got just the devil crest and the trefoil. That looks pretty cool. Not really a whole lot going on. Really, as always, you know, during the transfer window, we'll pop back on a little later on this evening if we've got a whole lot of news, if there's some big updates. As always, it won't be that frequent during the season now the window will be closed in a couple weeks, but we will pop on throughout the week to give match reactions, match previews, and then of course get your thoughts on any big developments that go on throughout the season as well. So that is going to do it for me, you guys. Katie says this year's kits are really good. Yeah, they are, man. I think I'm going to have a hard time not spending money on the away and the third. They are pretty lit. We'll see what happens though. But please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Go ahead and check out that 23-24 player season awards that we did on Saturday. I know it's a longer video. Listen to it while you're driving, listen to it while you're working out, listen to it while you're playing video games, whatever you want to do. But I had a lot of fun making that. I was so thankful for Dylan. Let me guys know your thoughts. Leave a comment if you're not able to catch the live. Leave a comment on that video as well. I respond to all the comments. I love getting the community involved because this, again, it's your channel, your community. It's built on your guys' thoughts, your feedback, your opinions, your perspective. I'm just here to kind of facilitate the conversation. And so let me know. I will talk to you guys later on. Thank you, everybody, today. Danny, thanks, man. KD, all the new faces, Irfane, Sandy, Nick, good to see you again, my friend. Appreciate everybody stopping by. I will talk to you guys on the next one. Have a good one.